Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. Episode 36 of Big Brother 27 will go down as one of those episodes where you have to pause the screen, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, did that really just happen? Because this hour was chaotic, messy, strategic, delusional, emotional, unhinged, and the perfect example of why fans willingly give up their mental peace to follow this show every summer. This episode delivered everything: betrayals, breakdowns, whispered hallway alliances, dramatic diary rooms, and a vote flip so sudden it might have caused whiplash. So grab your snacks or your stress medication, because we're diving deep into this madness. The episode opens in shambles. As usual, the episode begins exactly where the previous eviction left us. The house standing around, acting shocked, even though every single one of them knew what was going to happen. The only thing more dramatic than the vote itself was watching the losing side pretend they weren't blindsided. Morgan looks like she's already planning her next 3 confessionals. Vince looks like he's trying to calculate where everything went wrong using math he doesn't actually know. Ashley is smiling like she's not secretly plotting world domination. And Keanu? Keanu is giving the camera the kind of death stare that says, production better air the real story. The HOH room is dead silent, and for a moment, it almost seems like the game might calm down. Spoiler, it does not. The roast begins. Housemates lose it. The moment the feeds come back, everyone starts whispering like they're in a high school hallway during passing period. And one thing was obvious: alliances were cracking faster than cheap foundation in the summer heat. Vince, king of confusion. Vince spends the first 10 minutes of the episode walking around the house like a lost Roomba, bumping into groups of people trying to figure out who betrayed him. He asks everyone the same question: did you know about the vote flip? And the entire house, the very house that orchestrated the flip, has the audacity to say, no idea, bro. Insane, right? Vince's confusion is so pure it's almost wholesome, until he gets to the diary room. There, he snaps into full dramatic soap opera mode, claiming he's done being loyal, done being nice, and done being played. Sure, Vince. We've heard that 5 times this season. Morgan Pope, queen of subtle shading. Morgan Pope is the only person who manages to throw shade without moving a single muscle in her face. She sits in the kitchen, sipping her coffee like she's on break from starring in her own daytime talk show. When asked her thoughts on the chaos, Morgan casually shrugs. If people are mad, maybe they shouldn't have been sloppy. That line alone could be printed on a Big Brother t-shirt. But Morgan has more going on beneath the surface. Her bonds in the house, especially with Vince, are being scrutinized hard by fans and housemates. In episode 36, we see the house finally decide that they've had enough of Vince and Morgan, the dynamic duo nobody asked for. The HOH comp, a clown show for the ages. This week's HOH competition is supposed to be intense, a make-or-break battle for power. Instead, it looks like a bunch of adults trying to complete a child's birthday party challenge. People are slipping, falling, shouting, arguing with themselves, and at one point, Keanu literally yells, "Why is this so slippery?" Because, Keanu, it's Big Brother. If you're not suffering, production isn't happy. The comp quickly narrows down to Ashley, Morgan, Keanu, and poor Vince, who looks like his brain is buffering every time the camera cuts to him. After one of the clumsiest yet funniest showdowns, Ashley Hollis wins HOH, and the house collectively gasps because everyone knows what that means. Ashley's about to cause chaos. Ashley Hollis, the agent of chaos. If Ashley had a tagline, it would be, I don't start drama, I just accelerate it. And for that, Ashley, we thank you. She immediately begins interrogating the house one by one like she's a detective in a crime drama. Everyone who enters the HOH room comes out mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, and unsure if they're still in an alliance with her. She tells Morgan, "I trust you, but also not at all." She tells Vince, "You're safe. For now." She tells Keanu, "You're dangerous, but I respect it." Ashley clearly spent the offseason studying Sandra from Survivor and learned exactly one thing: anyone but me. Nomination ceremony, and the target is everyone. The nomination ceremony is set up to be dramatic, but it becomes unintentionally hilarious because everyone expects Ashley to pull a twist. Instead, she goes with the most obvious nominees of the week, Vince and Keanu, and you can feel the tension in the room. Vince looks betrayed. Keanu looks like ready to jump out the next window. Ashley closes the box and stares them down like a villain giving her monologue. She says the nominees represent the biggest threats to her game, which is a polite way of saying, "You two stress me out and I want you gone." The veto comp, where dreams go to die. This veto comp is messy, truly messy. It involves puzzles, physical endurance, and more balance than most of these house guests have. Watching Vince try to do this comp is like watching someone attempt yoga for the first time. Watching Keanu is like watching a machine malfunction. Morgan nearly wins at one point, and the editors milk the suspense, cutting between close-ups of her face and slow-motion shots of her hand shaking. But in the end, Keanu pulls off the win, and the house screams internally. Because a safe Keanu means Ashley has a problem. She has to pick a replacement nominee. Ashley replacement nom decision breaks the game. Ashley calls Morgan into her HOH room and straight up tells her, "I might have to put you up." Morgan's soul visibly leaves her body. Meanwhile, Vince is downstairs talking to literally anyone who will listen about loyalty and betrayal. He's like a walking TED Talk on trust issues. Ashley spirals. Should she put up Morgan? Should she put up a pawn? Should she backdoor someone else? Should she burn the house down and walk out? She goes through 5 game plans in 3 minutes. Finally, she picks her target. The replacement nominee, a moment the house never forgets. At the veto meeting, Keanu, still sweaty and victorious, uses the veto on himself. Ashley stands and announces the replacement nominee, Morgan. The entire house shatters. Vince's jaw drops so far it hits the core of the earth. Morgan looks devastated, but composed in that "I will cry later in private" way. Keanu nods like he expected this. He did. Ashley sits down like she just ended a soap opera episode with a cliffhanger. The campaigning, a full circus. For the rest of the episode, Vince and Morgan scramble around the house trying to secure votes. Vince's strategy, guilt trip everyone. Morgan's strategy, charm everyone. Keanu's strategy, enjoy the drama with popcorn. Ashley's strategy, pretend she's innocent. Everyone else's strategy, avoid eye contact. There are tears, whispers, promises, lies, and one extremely awkward moment where Vince tries to convince Ashley she made a mistake, and she responds, "The mistake was trusting you." Cold. Ice cold. The episode ends with a fan scream-worth cliffhanger. The final scene is Morgan giving a confessional about fighting to stay in the game, her voice strong but emotional. Vince gives a dramatic last speech to the camera, claiming he won't go down without a war. Ashley smirks from the HOH balcony like a villain, watching her plan unfold. And the announcer says, "Who will be evicted? Find out tomorrow on Big Brother." Cue dramatic music. Cue fan chaos on Twitter. Cue YouTube reactors screaming at their screens. Episode 36 was a masterpiece of mess, drama, betrayal, and pure BB chaos.